As good as it's gonna get.
Hey, tense.
Genovia.
Whoa!
And you are Princess.
Review. The Princess Diaries 2001 is one of the most memorable coming-of-age comedy films of the early 2000s, combining humor, family values, confidence, friendship, and self-discovery into a heartwarming cinematic experience that continues to attract audiences even decades after its original release. Directed by Gary Marshall and based on the popular novel by Meg Cabot, the film introduced millions of viewers to an inspiring journey about believing in yourself instead of trying to become someone else. Rather than focusing only on the fairy tale elements, the movie explores the emotional challenges of growing up, finding identity, accepting responsibility, and understanding that true leadership comes from kindness and honesty instead of appearance or popularity. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures with a production budget estimated at around $26 million, the film became a major commercial success by earning well over $165 million worldwide, proving that audiences were ready for a modern fairy tale filled with humor, emotional moments, and relatable characters. The Princess Diaries premiered in 2001 and received a wide theatrical release in several countries, where families, teenagers, and Disney fans embraced its positive message. Over the years, the movie has also become available through different home media releases and, depending on the country and licensing agreements, has appeared on Disney's streaming platform Disney+, allowing a new generation of viewers to discover the film. Availability can change by region and over time, so viewers should always check their local streaming library. One of the strongest reasons behind the movie's lasting popularity is its outstanding cast. Anne Hathaway made her feature film debut as Mia Thermopolis, delivering a charming and unforgettable performance that instantly established her as a rising Hollywood star. Julie Andrews, already famous for her legendary performances in classic family films, brought elegance, warmth, wisdom, and authority to the role of Queen Clarisse Rinaldi, creating a believable relationship between grandmother and granddaughter that becomes the emotional foundation of the story. Héctor Elizondo, Heather Matarazzo, Mandy Moore, Caroline Goodall, Robert Schwartzman, and the supporting cast each contribute memorable performances that make the fictional world feel genuine and emotionally engaging. Gary Marshall's direction deserves special appreciation because instead of creating an unrealistic fantasy, he balances comedy with heartfelt family drama. His storytelling allows viewers to laugh at awkward situations while simultaneously connecting with Mia's emotional struggles. The film never suggests that becoming a princess is what makes someone valuable. Instead, it repeatedly emphasizes that confidence, honesty, compassion, responsibility, and courage are the qualities that truly define a leader. This central message is one of the reasons the movie continues to resonate with audiences today. The screenplay gradually develops Mia from a shy teenager into someone willing to face difficult choices without abandoning her authentic personality. Throughout the film, viewers witness how ordinary insecurities can feel overwhelming during adolescence. Mia experiences embarrassment, uncertainty, fear of judgment, and social anxiety, making her an extremely relatable protagonist. These emotions are presented with humor rather than melodrama, allowing audiences to empathize with her while enjoying the entertaining situations surrounding her transformation. The cinematography supports this emotional journey by contrasting the simplicity of Mia's everyday life with the elegance of royal traditions. Costumes, palace interiors, school settings, and formal ceremonies visually represent the difference between the two worlds she must learn to balance. The soundtrack also complements the youthful atmosphere, featuring energetic songs that became closely associated with early 2000s teen cinema. Instead of overwhelming the story, the music reinforces important emotional moments and helps maintain an uplifting tone. Another reason the movie remains popular is its family-friendly storytelling. Unlike many modern films that rely heavily on action or visual effects, The Princess Diaries focuses on character development, relationships, and emotional growth. Parents and children can watch it together because the humor appeals to different age groups while the emotional themes remain universally understandable. The film encourages viewers to embrace individuality rather than chasing unrealistic standards of perfection. Even today, this message feels surprisingly relevant in a world heavily influenced by social media, appearance, and public opinion. From a filmmaking perspective, Disney successfully combined traditional fairy tale storytelling with a contemporary teenage setting, creating a story that feels both magical and grounded. The production design effectively establishes the fictional European kingdom while keeping the emotional focus on Mia's personal journey rather than political fantasy. Julie Andrews brings dignity and emotional depth to every scene, while Anne Hathaway's natural charisma makes Mia's transformation believable because it is driven primarily by growing confidence rather than external appearance. Critics offered mixed to positive reviews upon release, but audiences embraced the film enthusiastically, and positive word of mouth contributed significantly to its impressive box office performance. Over time, many reviewers reassessed the movie more favorably, recognizing its sincerity, positive themes, and enduring entertainment value. The Princess Diaries eventually became one of Disney's beloved live-action classics and inspired a successful sequel, further expanding the franchise. Looking back today, the film represents more than a simple princess fantasy. It serves as a reminder that personal growth often begins by accepting yourself before trying to change the world around you. Leadership is portrayed as service rather than privilege, friendship is shown as something built on honesty instead of popularity, and family relationships become the emotional anchor that guides every important decision. These ideas elevate the movie beyond a conventional teen comedy and explain why it continues to be recommended to new viewers more than 2 decades after its original release. As the story unfolds, audiences become invested not because of royal traditions or glamorous settings, but because they recognize the universal experience of uncertainty, self-discovery, and learning to believe in one's own potential, making The Princess Diaries a timeless coming-of-age film whose emotional impact remains just as meaningful today as it was in 2001. Review. One of the most impressive aspects of The Princess Diaries is how it carefully builds its emotional themes without relying on exaggerated drama. Instead of presenting an idealized fantasy from the very beginning, the film spends considerable time showing the everyday life of its central character, allowing audiences to understand her personality, fears, and insecurities before introducing the extraordinary circumstances that completely change her future. This storytelling approach makes the emotional journey feel believable because viewers first connect with Mia as an ordinary teenager rather than seeing her simply as someone destined for royalty. The movie consistently reminds audiences that unexpected opportunities often bring responsibility instead of instant happiness. Becoming a princess may sound like a dream, but the film demonstrates that every privilege carries expectations, discipline, public responsibility, and difficult personal decisions. This balance between fantasy and reality is one of the reasons why the movie has remained relevant for so many years. Rather than suggesting that a royal title automatically solves life's problems, the story emphasizes that confidence, maturity, and compassion must be developed through experience. Gary Marshall's direction keeps the narrative lighthearted while allowing emotional scenes to carry genuine weight. His experience directing family-friendly comedies is visible throughout the film because comedic moments never completely overshadow the heartfelt relationships between the characters. Every humorous situation ultimately contributes to character growth instead of existing only for entertainment. This creates a satisfying viewing experience where laughter and emotional reflection naturally exist together. Anne Hathaway's performance deserves particular appreciation because she successfully portrays a character who evolves emotionally without losing her authentic personality. Even as Mia becomes more confident and learns new responsibilities, the audience can still recognize the kind, intelligent, and slightly awkward teenager introduced at the beginning of the story. That consistency makes her development feel natural instead of artificial. Julie Andrews delivers another unforgettable performance by portraying wisdom with warmth instead of strict authority. Her character becomes not only a mentor but also a caring grandmother whose guidance extends far beyond royal etiquette. Their relationship forms the emotional heart of the movie because both characters gradually learn from each other. While Mia gains confidence and maturity, Queen Clarisse also discovers the importance of patience, understanding, and allowing someone to grow at their own pace. Héctor Elizondo's supporting role adds stability and subtle humor, demonstrating how supporting characters can enrich a story without overshadowing the main narrative. The supporting cast contributes to creating a believable environment where every interaction feels meaningful. The production design deserves recognition because it successfully contrasts ordinary teenage life with the elegance of royal traditions. Costume design plays an important storytelling role by visually representing changing confidence rather than simply displaying fashionable clothing. Makeup and styling are used to support character development instead of becoming the primary focus. This approach reinforces one of the movie's strongest messages. Genuine confidence comes from personal growth rather than physical appearance alone. Cinematography enhances this contrast through lighting, framing, and location choices that distinguish everyday environments from formal royal settings while maintaining visual consistency throughout the film. The musical score complements these emotional transitions without becoming distracting, helping audiences remain engaged during both humorous and reflective moments. Financially, The Princess Diaries became one of Disney's successful live-action releases of 2001. Produced with an estimated budget of around $26 million, it earned more than $165 million worldwide, making it a strong commercial success and demonstrating the lasting appeal of heartfelt family entertainment. Its impressive box office performance encouraged Disney to continue exploring similar stories centered on personal growth and optimism, eventually leading to a sequel that reunited many familiar faces. Following its theatrical success, the film enjoyed strong home video sales through VHS and DVD, introducing it to even wider audiences around the world. In later years, as digital streaming became increasingly popular, the movie also became available on Disney Plus in many regions, although streaming availability depends on local licensing agreements and may vary by country. Critics initially offered mixed to positive reactions, but audiences connected strongly with the film's sincerity, uplifting message, and memorable performances. Over time, the movie earned the reputation of being a modern Disney classic because new generations continued discovering it through television broadcasts, home media, and streaming platforms. Beyond its entertainment value, The Princess Diaries offers meaningful lessons about leadership, empathy, family, responsibility, honesty, and resilience. Instead of glorifying power or wealth, it consistently suggests that true leadership begins with respect for others and the courage to remain authentic despite external pressures. These themes continue to resonate because they address challenges experienced by people of all ages, making the film enjoyable not only for younger viewers but also for adults who appreciate thoughtful coming-of-age stories. More than 2 decades after its original release, The Princess Diaries remains a comforting and optimistic film whose timeless themes, memorable performances, polished direction, charming humor, and emotional sincerity continue to inspire audiences across different generations. Review. Beyond its charming fairy tale premise, The Princess Diaries succeeds because it explores universal emotions that almost everyone experiences while growing up. Feelings of self-doubt, the desire to fit in, fear of being judged, and the challenge of discovering personal identity are presented in a way that feels genuine rather than exaggerated. Although the story is built around an extraordinary situation, its emotional foundation remains grounded in real-life experiences, making it easy for audiences from different cultures and generations to relate to the characters. This balance between fantasy and realism is one of the film's greatest strengths. The screenplay carefully develops the idea that confidence cannot simply be created through external changes. Throughout the narrative, viewers are reminded that appearance may influence first impressions, but lasting respect is earned through honesty, kindness, responsibility, and courage. This message allows the movie to avoid becoming a superficial makeover story. Instead, it becomes a thoughtful coming-of-age drama wrapped inside a lighthearted family comedy. Director Gary Marshall demonstrates remarkable control over tone, ensuring that humorous sequences never diminish the emotional significance of important character moments. His direction gives every major relationship room to develop naturally, allowing conversations and shared experiences to feel authentic. Rather than rushing emotional scenes, the film patiently builds trust between its characters, making their growth satisfying and believable. Anne Hathaway's breakout performance remains one of the defining highlights of the movie. She captures the uncertainty, awkwardness, intelligence, and emotional vulnerability of a teenager facing unexpected responsibilities with remarkable authenticity. Her expressive performance allows audiences to understand what her character is feeling even during quiet moments, creating a strong emotional connection that continues throughout the film. Julie Andrews brings grace, dignity, and warmth to Queen Clarisse, portraying a leader who understands that compassion is just as important as tradition. Their evolving relationship becomes a lesson about family, forgiveness, communication, and mutual respect. Instead of presenting authority as something distant, the film shows that true leadership involves listening, encouraging, and supporting others. The supporting cast also deserves recognition for helping create a believable world filled with memorable personalities. Every character contributes to the overall emotional atmosphere, whether by providing humor, guidance, friendship, or important life lessons. From a technical perspective, the cinematography effectively captures both intimate emotional conversations and visually elegant royal settings. Lighting and composition subtly reinforce the contrast between ordinary teenage life and the formal expectations of royalty without making either world appear unrealistic. Costume design plays a particularly significant storytelling role. Rather than simply showcasing fashionable clothing, the wardrobe reflects the gradual development of confidence, responsibility, and maturity. The production design successfully creates the fictional Kingdom of Genovia while maintaining an approachable and family-friendly atmosphere. Music also plays an important role in shaping the emotional experience. The soundtrack reflects the youthful energy of the early 2000s while supporting moments of humor, inspiration, and heartfelt reflection. Instead of overpowering the story, the songs naturally complement the changing emotional tone. Financially, The Princess Diaries became one of Disney's most successful live-action family films of its time. Produced with an estimated budget of approximately $26 million, it earned more than $165 million worldwide, delivering an impressive return on investment. The movie's commercial success demonstrated that audiences continued to appreciate character-driven family entertainment supported by positive themes rather than relying solely on large-scale visual effects. Following its theatrical release in 2001, the film expanded its audience through VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital platforms. In many countries, it later became available on Disney+, although streaming availability depends on regional licensing agreements and may change over time. Critics appreciated the chemistry between Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, while audiences especially embraced the film's uplifting tone, memorable humor, and emotional sincerity. Over the years, its reputation has grown even stronger, with many viewers considering it one of Disney's most beloved modern live-action classics. Another important reason for the film's lasting popularity is its optimistic worldview. Even when characters face uncertainty or disappointment, the story encourages perseverance instead of cynicism. It suggests that mistakes are opportunities for learning, that personal growth requires patience, and that genuine success comes from remaining true to one's values. These timeless ideas continue to resonate with audiences, ensuring that The Princess Diaries remains more than just an entertaining comedy. It stands as an inspiring story about maturity, self-respect, family, friendship, and the courage to embrace unexpected opportunities while never forgetting the qualities that make each individual unique. Review. As the journey of The Princess Diaries continues to unfold, one of the film's greatest achievements is the way it balances entertainment with meaningful life lessons. Instead of presenting royalty as a symbol of luxury alone, the story gradually explains that leadership is built on responsibility, discipline, compassion, patience, and the willingness to put other people before yourself. This deeper message separates the film from many traditional fairy tales because it encourages viewers to admire strong character rather than external success. Throughout the movie, every important event contributes to the emotional development of the central characters, making the narrative feel cohesive and rewarding. Director Gary Marshall creates an atmosphere that feels warm, optimistic, and welcoming from beginning to end. His storytelling style avoids unnecessary complexity, allowing audiences of all ages to enjoy the film while still discovering meaningful themes beneath its lighthearted surface. His ability to combine comedy with emotional sincerity is one of the reasons why the film has remained popular for more than 2 decades. The pacing is carefully controlled so that humorous moments naturally lead into emotional conversations without creating abrupt tonal changes. This smooth transition keeps viewers emotionally invested while maintaining the uplifting spirit that defines the entire production. Anne Hathaway delivers an impressive performance that remains one of the strongest debut roles in modern family cinema. Her natural screen presence allows audiences to connect with Mia's fears, hopes, and dreams without feeling that her emotional journey is exaggerated. She portrays vulnerability with honesty while gradually revealing confidence that develops through experience rather than instant transformation. This realistic approach makes the character's growth satisfying because every achievement feels earned. Julie Andrews brings extraordinary elegance and emotional depth to Queen Clarisse. Her calm voice, graceful presence, and thoughtful performance establish the character as both a respected monarch and a loving grandmother. The chemistry between Andrews and Hathaway becomes the emotional foundation of the film, reminding viewers that wisdom is often passed from one generation to another through trust, patience, and understanding. Héctor Elizondo also deserves recognition for his understated yet memorable supporting performance, adding warmth and gentle humor that enriches many scenes without drawing attention away from the central story. The supporting cast helps create a believable social environment where friendships, family relationships, and everyday interactions feel authentic. From a production standpoint, The Princess Diaries demonstrates Disney's ability to create visually appealing family entertainment without depending on expensive visual effects. With an estimated production budget of around $26 million, the filmmakers invested in strong performances, polished production design, attractive costumes, carefully selected filming locations, and effective cinematography rather than overwhelming spectacle. This creative decision contributed to the film's timeless quality because the emotional storytelling remains the primary focus. The fictional Kingdom of Genovia is presented with elegance while still feeling approachable, allowing audiences to enjoy the fantasy without losing sight of the realistic emotional themes. Costume design deserves particular praise because clothing becomes a visual representation of growing confidence and responsibility instead of merely symbolizing glamour. The cinematography supports this development by contrasting ordinary school environments with refined royal settings, creating a visual distinction that reinforces the story's emotional progression. Lighting, framing, and camera movement remain subtle throughout the film, ensuring that character performances always receive the greatest attention. The musical score and soundtrack further enhance the viewing experience by capturing the optimistic atmosphere of the early 2000s. Energetic songs accompany lighter moments while softer orchestral music strengthens emotional scenes involving family, friendship, and self-discovery. Financially, the movie exceeded expectations by earning more than $165 million worldwide against its approximately $26 million budget, making it one of Disney's successful live-action family releases of 2001. This strong commercial performance demonstrated that audiences continued to appreciate heartfelt stories centered on optimism and character development. Following its theatrical success, the film became widely available through VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and later digital platforms. In many regions it has also been available to stream on Disney+, although streaming availability varies depending on regional licensing agreements and may change over time. Critics generally praised the performances of Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, while audiences responded especially well to the film's humor, emotional warmth, and inspiring message. Over the years, appreciation for the movie has continued to grow, with many viewers considering it one of the defining family films of its generation. Even today, The Princess Diaries continues to introduce new audiences to timeless lessons about confidence, responsibility, humility, kindness, and believing in one's own potential. Its enduring popularity proves that meaningful storytelling, memorable performances, thoughtful direction, and positive values can leave a lasting impact long after a film's original theatrical release, making it a modern Disney classic that continues to entertain and inspire viewers around the world. Review. One of the biggest reasons why The Princess Diaries continues to be loved by audiences around the world is that its message feels timeless regardless of when someone watches it. The film is not simply about becoming a princess or living inside a royal palace. At its heart, it is a story about discovering confidence, accepting responsibility, respecting family values, and understanding that true leadership begins with kindness rather than power. This emotional foundation allows the movie to connect with children, teenagers, and adults alike, making it one of Disney's most memorable live-action coming-of-age films. Director Gary Marshall approaches the story with warmth and sincerity, ensuring that every emotional moment feels genuine instead of overly dramatic. His filmmaking style focuses on human relationships, allowing audiences to care about the characters before becoming invested in the larger fairy tale concept. Anne Hathaway delivers a remarkable debut performance that remains one of the strongest introductions to a Hollywood career in modern family cinema. Her natural expressions, believable emotional range, and effortless charm make her character feel authentic from beginning to end. Julie Andrews provides the perfect balance of elegance, wisdom, and compassion, creating a memorable mentor figure whose presence elevates every scene she appears in. The chemistry between these two actors is one of the film's greatest strengths because their relationship develops through trust, patience, and mutual understanding rather than forced emotional moments. From a production perspective, the film demonstrates how effective storytelling can succeed without relying on massive visual effects or action sequences. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures with an estimated budget of around $26 million, the filmmakers invested heavily in performances, production design, costumes, locations, and careful direction. That investment paid off as the film earned more than $165 million worldwide, becoming a significant commercial success and proving that audiences appreciate heartfelt family entertainment supported by meaningful storytelling. The fictional Kingdom of Genovia is presented with elegance while remaining believable enough to support the emotional narrative. Costume design deserves particular praise because clothing reflects confidence, maturity, and responsibility rather than serving only as visual decoration. The cinematography maintains a bright and inviting atmosphere, using clean compositions and warm lighting that perfectly complement the optimistic tone of the story. The soundtrack captures the youthful energy of the early 2000s while the orchestral score enhances emotional moments without overwhelming the performances. Following its theatrical release in 2001, The Princess Diaries achieved continued success through VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital releases. In many countries, the movie has also been available on Disney+, although streaming availability depends on regional licensing agreements and may change over time. Critics praised the performances of Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, while audiences embraced the film's uplifting themes, memorable humor, and emotional sincerity. Over the years, its reputation has grown even stronger, with many viewers considering it one of Disney's defining live-action classics. Looking back today, the movie stands as a reminder that confidence is built through personal growth, leadership requires humility, and true success comes from remaining honest and compassionate even when life changes unexpectedly. Those universal ideas continue to resonate across generations, ensuring that The Princess Diaries remains an inspiring and enjoyable film whose legacy extends far beyond its original theatrical release. Review. Looking at The Princess Diaries from a broader filmmaking perspective, one of its greatest achievements is its ability to remain entertaining without depending on fast-paced action or complicated visual effects. Instead, the movie places its trust in strong storytelling, memorable performances, and emotional honesty. This creative choice has helped the film age remarkably well, allowing new generations of viewers to enjoy it long after its original 2001 theatrical release. The screenplay focuses on themes that never become outdated, including self-confidence, responsibility, family relationships, friendship, integrity, and personal growth. These universal ideas make the film accessible to audiences across different cultures and age groups. Director Gary Marshall deserves significant credit for maintaining a consistent tone throughout the movie. His direction blends light comedy with heartfelt emotional moments in a way that feels natural rather than forced. Every scene contributes to the overall message that true confidence comes from accepting who you are instead of pretending to be someone else. This positive philosophy gives the movie lasting emotional value beyond its fairy tale setting. Anne Hathaway's performance remains one of the defining highlights of the production. Her ability to portray insecurity, curiosity, determination, and emotional maturity creates a believable character that audiences continue to connect with years later. Julie Andrews complements that performance with elegance and wisdom, bringing warmth and authenticity to every scene she appears in. Together, they create one of Disney's most memorable on-screen family relationships, built on trust, patience, and mutual respect. From a technical standpoint, the production design successfully creates a visually appealing contrast between everyday life and royal tradition without making either environment feel unrealistic. The costume department deserves recognition for using wardrobe as a storytelling tool, reflecting changing confidence and personal development instead of simply emphasizing luxury. Cinematography supports this approach with bright, balanced visuals that match the optimistic atmosphere of the film. The musical score and soundtrack also contribute significantly, capturing the cheerful spirit of the early 2000s while strengthening emotional moments through carefully chosen compositions. Financially, The Princess Diaries proved to be an outstanding investment for Walt Disney Pictures. Produced with an estimated budget of approximately $26 million, the movie earned more than $165 million worldwide, becoming one of the studio's successful live-action family films of its era. Its commercial performance demonstrated that audiences continued to appreciate character-driven stories with positive messages, encouraging Disney to expand the franchise with a sequel. Beyond theatrical success, the film enjoyed excellent performance through home entertainment, including VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital distribution. It has also been available on Disney Plus in many countries, although availability depends on regional licensing agreements and can vary over time. Critics highlighted the charm of the lead performances, while audiences praised the movie's humor, emotional warmth, and uplifting themes. Over the years, its reputation has continued to improve, and it is now widely regarded as a modern Disney classic. The Princess Diaries ultimately reminds viewers that genuine leadership is measured by compassion, honesty, humility, and the courage to remain true to yourself even when circumstances change. These enduring values, combined with polished filmmaking, memorable performances, and timeless storytelling, explain why the film continues to be recommended to families and remains one of the most beloved coming-of-age movies in Disney's live-action library. Review. More than 2 decades after its release, The Princess Diaries continues to hold a special place among family films because it delivers a positive and uplifting experience without relying on unnecessary negativity. The movie reminds viewers that personal growth is a gradual journey built through learning, patience, and perseverance. Rather than presenting success as something that happens overnight, it emphasizes that confidence develops through experience, self-belief, and the willingness to accept responsibility. This timeless message makes the film meaningful for audiences of every generation. One of the strongest aspects of the production is its balance between entertainment and emotional depth. Gary Marshall directs the film with warmth and simplicity, allowing every important moment to feel sincere. The humor never overshadows the emotional core of the story, and the emotional scenes never become overly dramatic. This careful balance keeps the movie engaging from beginning to end and makes it enjoyable for both younger viewers and adults. Anne Hathaway's performance remains one of the film's greatest achievements. Her natural charm, expressive acting, and believable emotional range helped introduce her as one of Hollywood's most promising young talents. Julie Andrews once again proves why she is regarded as one of cinema's most respected actresses, bringing grace, wisdom, and compassion to her role. Their on-screen relationship becomes the emotional heart of the movie, showing that guidance, encouragement, and unconditional family support can inspire someone to discover their true potential. From a production perspective, Walt Disney Pictures successfully created a visually elegant family film while maintaining a relatively modest production budget of approximately $26 million. Instead of spending heavily on large-scale visual effects, the filmmakers focused on quality performances, attractive production design, detailed costumes, carefully selected filming locations, and polished cinematography. This creative approach resulted in a movie that still feels visually appealing years after its release. The costume design plays an especially important role by reflecting confidence and maturity through subtle visual storytelling rather than excessive glamour. The cinematography maintains a bright, welcoming atmosphere that perfectly complements the optimistic tone of the narrative. The soundtrack combines energetic early 2000s pop music with an orchestral score that enhances emotional scenes without distracting from the performances. Commercially, the film exceeded expectations by earning more than $165 million worldwide, making it a major box office success and confirming the continued popularity of heartfelt family entertainment. Following its theatrical release in 2001, The Princess Diaries achieved long-term success through VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital platforms. It has also been available on Disney Plus in many regions, although streaming availability may vary depending on licensing agreements. Critics praised the chemistry between Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, while audiences embraced the film's optimism, memorable humor, and inspiring themes. Over time, its reputation has only grown stronger, with many considering it one of Disney's finest live-action coming-of-age films. Ultimately, The Princess Diaries stands as a celebration of authenticity, humility, compassion, and self-confidence. Its enduring popularity proves that meaningful storytelling, relatable characters, and genuine emotional warmth can leave a lasting impact far beyond a film's original release, ensuring that this modern Disney classic continues to inspire viewers around the world. Review. When examining The Princess Diaries as a complete filmmaking achievement, it becomes clear that its enduring popularity is the result of many creative elements working together in perfect balance. The film does not rely on spectacular action sequences or groundbreaking visual effects to leave an impression. Instead, it succeeds because it tells a heartfelt story with sincerity, optimism, and emotional honesty. Its central message, that true confidence comes from character rather than appearance or status, remains just as relevant today as it was when the film first premiered in 2001. This universal theme allows the movie to connect with audiences of different ages and backgrounds, making it one of Disney's most recognizable live-action family productions. Gary Marshall's direction deserves continued appreciation for creating a warm and welcoming atmosphere that feels timeless. His ability to blend gentle comedy with meaningful emotional moments gives the movie a natural rhythm that never feels forced. Every scene contributes to the overall emotional journey, reinforcing ideas about responsibility, kindness, humility, and personal growth. Anne Hathaway's performance continues to stand out as one of the most memorable debut performances in modern Hollywood. She brings authenticity, warmth, and relatability to the role, making it easy for viewers to connect with her emotional experiences. Julie Andrews complements that performance with elegance, wisdom, and quiet strength, creating a mentor figure whose guidance becomes one of the emotional pillars of the film. Their on-screen chemistry gives the story genuine heart and reinforces the importance of family support during times of personal change. Technically, the production remains impressive because of its attention to detail. The costume design reflects confidence and maturity without becoming overly extravagant, while the production design successfully creates an elegant royal atmosphere that still feels accessible and believable. The cinematography uses bright lighting, balanced framing, and attractive locations to maintain the film's uplifting tone. The soundtrack also deserves recognition for capturing the youthful spirit of the early 2000s while supporting emotional scenes with a gentle orchestral score that enhances rather than overwhelms the storytelling. From a business perspective, The Princess Diaries proved to be an excellent investment for Walt Disney Pictures. Produced with an estimated budget of approximately $26 million, the movie earned more than $165 million worldwide, becoming a significant commercial success. Its strong box office performance demonstrated that audiences continued to appreciate character-driven family stories built around hope, humor, and emotional sincerity. After its successful theatrical run, the film reached even larger audiences through VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital platforms. In many countries it has also been available to stream on Disney+, although availability varies depending on regional licensing agreements. The film's long-lasting popularity eventually led to a sequel and continues to generate discussion about the possibility of future installments, reflecting the affection audiences still have for its characters and themes. Critics praised the performances, family-friendly storytelling, and positive message, while viewers embraced the film as a comforting and inspirational classic that can be enjoyed repeatedly. Looking back today, The Princess Diaries represents much more than a traditional fairy tale comedy. It is a thoughtful coming-of-age film that celebrates authenticity, resilience, compassion, and the courage to embrace unexpected opportunities while remaining true to one's values. Those timeless lessons, combined with memorable performances, polished filmmaking, and heartfelt storytelling, ensure that the film continues to inspire new generations of viewers and remains one of Disney's most beloved live-action classics. Review. Another important reason why The Princess Diaries has remained a favorite among audiences is its optimistic approach to storytelling. The film presents a world where kindness, patience, honesty, and determination are treated as genuine strengths rather than weaknesses. Instead of encouraging characters to compete for attention or popularity, the narrative consistently highlights the importance of respecting others, learning from mistakes, and growing through experience. These values give the movie an emotional depth that extends far beyond its family comedy genre. Even after more than 20 years, these themes continue to feel relevant because they address universal experiences that people encounter throughout life. From a filmmaking perspective, Gary Marshall demonstrates remarkable confidence in allowing the story to breathe. He does not rush emotional moments or overwhelm viewers with unnecessary spectacle. Instead, he builds meaningful relationships through natural conversations, expressive performances, and carefully paced storytelling. This approach creates an atmosphere that feels warm, sincere, and inviting, making the audience emotionally invested in the characters. Anne Hathaway's performance remains one of the defining reasons for the film's success. Her ability to portray vulnerability alongside growing confidence creates a believable emotional journey that resonates with viewers. Julie Andrews brings dignity, grace, and warmth to her role, offering a calm and reassuring presence that perfectly complements Hathaway's youthful energy. Together, they establish one of Disney's most memorable on-screen partnerships, demonstrating the importance of trust, encouragement, and family support. The supporting cast also contributes significantly by adding humor, personality, and authenticity to the world of the film, ensuring that every character feels like an important part of the overall experience. Visually, the movie continues to impress because of its elegant production design and thoughtful attention to detail. The fictional Kingdom of Genovia is presented with sophistication while remaining approachable and believable. Costume design enhances the storytelling by reflecting confidence and maturity rather than focusing solely on luxury. The cinematography maintains bright, balanced visuals that reinforce the film's hopeful atmosphere, while the musical score provides emotional support without distracting from the performances. The soundtrack also captures the youthful energy of the early 2000s, adding to the nostalgic charm that many viewers continue to appreciate today. Financially, The Princess Diaries proved to be a major success for Walt Disney Pictures. Produced with an estimated budget of around $26 million, the film earned more than $165 million worldwide, making it one of the studio's strongest live-action family releases of its time. Its commercial success extended well beyond cinemas through strong home media sales on VHS, DVD, and Blu-ray, followed by digital distribution. In many regions, the movie has also been available on Disney+, although streaming availability depends on regional licensing agreements and may vary over time. The positive audience response helped establish the film as a modern Disney classic and ultimately led to the production of a sequel. Critics praised its uplifting tone, memorable performances, and family-friendly entertainment, while audiences appreciated its heartfelt message and timeless appeal. Looking back today, The Princess Diaries remains an excellent example of how a film can achieve lasting popularity through sincerity, strong performances, thoughtful direction, and meaningful themes rather than relying on large-scale spectacle. Its celebration of confidence, compassion, responsibility, and authenticity continues to inspire viewers around the world, ensuring that it remains a cherished coming-of-age classic and an enduring part of Disney's live-action legacy. Review. Reaching the final stage of this overall analysis, The Princess Diaries stands as a remarkable example of how a simple and heartfelt story can leave a lasting impact on audiences around the world. More than 20 years after its release, the film continues to be recommended because it focuses on timeless values instead of short-lived trends. Its themes of self-confidence, responsibility, kindness, humility, and personal growth remain meaningful regardless of age or culture. Rather than presenting success as something measured by wealth, popularity, or status, the film encourages viewers to develop integrity, compassion, and the courage to remain true to themselves. That positive message is one of the primary reasons why the movie has earned a permanent place among Disney's most beloved live-action family productions. Director Gary Marshall deserves enormous credit for creating a film that feels both entertaining and emotionally sincere. His storytelling never depends on excessive spectacle, but instead allows the characters and their relationships to carry the emotional weight of the narrative. This creative approach gives the movie a timeless quality because genuine human emotions never become outdated. Anne Hathaway's breakout performance remains one of the film's greatest achievements, introducing audiences to an actress whose natural charisma, emotional honesty, and screen presence would later lead to an outstanding Hollywood career. Julie Andrews provides elegance, warmth, and quiet authority, delivering a performance that balances wisdom with compassion. Together, their chemistry creates the emotional foundation that continues to resonate with viewers long after the credits roll. The supporting cast also strengthens the film by creating an authentic and welcoming world filled with memorable personalities, humor, and heartfelt interactions. From a technical standpoint, the production continues to impress through its polished craftsmanship. The costume design, production design, cinematography, and musical score work together to create an atmosphere that feels optimistic, refined, and inviting without becoming visually overwhelming. The fictional setting is presented with enough detail to feel magical while remaining grounded in relatable emotions. The soundtrack captures the spirit of the early 2000s, while the orchestral score gently supports important emotional moments and enhances the overall viewing experience. Financially, the film proved to be an outstanding success. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures with an estimated budget of approximately $26 million, it earned more than $165 million worldwide, significantly exceeding expectations and demonstrating the global appeal of uplifting family entertainment. Its success continued through home media releases including VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital platforms, and in many regions it has also been available to stream on Disney+, although availability depends on local licensing agreements and can change over time. The strong commercial performance eventually led to a sequel, further expanding the franchise and introducing the story to new audiences. Critics generally praise the performances, direction, and family-friendly storytelling, while audiences embraced the film for its optimism, humor, emotional warmth, and inspirational message. Over the years, its reputation has only grown stronger, and it is now widely regarded as one of Disney's defining live-action coming-of-age classics. In the end, The Princess Diaries proves that memorable cinema is not always defined by massive budgets or groundbreaking visual effects. Sometimes the greatest strength of a film lies in its ability to inspire hope, encourage self-belief, celebrate family, and remind viewers that true leadership begins with kindness, honesty, and respect for others. Those universal ideas continue to make this film enjoyable for first-time viewers and longtime fans alike, ensuring that its legacy will remain strong for many years to come as one of the most charming, uplifting, and emotionally satisfying family films of its generation. Review. Another reason The Princess Diaries continues to receive appreciation from film lovers is the way it successfully combines multiple genres without losing its identity. It functions as a family film, a coming-of-age drama, a light comedy, and a modern fairy tale at the same time, yet each element supports the others instead of competing for attention. This careful balance allows the movie to appeal to children, teenagers, parents, and even viewers who simply enjoy character-driven stories. Rather than relying on constant jokes or emotional twists, the film builds its appeal through sincerity and optimism. Every creative department contributes to this welcoming atmosphere. The screenplay keeps the focus on emotional development, while the direction ensures that every important interaction feels natural and believable. Gary Marshall's experience with character-focused storytelling is evident throughout the production, as he allows the cast to bring warmth and personality to every scene. Anne Hathaway's performance remains one of the film's most celebrated achievements because she creates a protagonist who feels relatable, genuine, and emotionally honest. Her expressions, dialogue delivery, and gradual emotional growth make the audience believe in the character's journey without needing exaggerated drama. Julie Andrews adds elegance, intelligence, and emotional stability, creating a performance that reflects dignity while remaining approachable and compassionate. Their performances complement each other beautifully and form the emotional center of the movie. From a technical perspective, the film demonstrates how thoughtful production design can enhance storytelling without becoming distracting. The locations, costumes, lighting, and cinematography all support the emotional tone of the narrative. The royal settings feel sophisticated yet welcoming, while the everyday environments remain realistic and familiar. This visual contrast strengthens the overall theme of balancing personal identity with new responsibilities. The musical score quietly reinforces emotional moments, and the soundtrack captures the youthful atmosphere of the early 2000s, adding an extra layer of nostalgia for audiences who revisit the film today. The Princess Diaries also performed exceptionally well from a commercial standpoint. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures with an estimated budget of around $26 million, the film earned more than $165 million worldwide, making it a major financial success. Its popularity continued after theaters through strong sales on VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and later digital platforms. In many regions, it has also been available on Disney+, although streaming availability depends on regional licensing agreements and may change over time. The movie's lasting popularity eventually led to a sequel and continues to generate interest whenever discussions arise about beloved Disney live-action classics. Critics recognized the charm of the performances and the film's positive message, while audiences embraced its uplifting tone, family-friendly humor, and emotional sincerity. Looking back, The Princess Diaries remains a reminder that confidence is built through experience, kindness is a true measure of strength, and personal growth often begins by accepting yourself. Those enduring themes continue to resonate with viewers across generations, ensuring that the film remains a timeless example of heartfelt family entertainment and a memorable chapter in Disney's live-action legacy. Review. One of the most impressive qualities of The Princess Diaries is its ability to remain culturally relevant despite changing trends in the entertainment industry. While many family films from the early 2000s are remembered mainly for nostalgia, this movie continues to attract new audiences because its central ideas are universal and timeless. It explores confidence, responsibility, empathy, resilience, and personal growth in a way that feels sincere rather than preachy. Director Gary Marshall builds an optimistic atmosphere where humor and emotion naturally complement each other, creating a viewing experience that feels comforting and uplifting. Instead of depending on spectacular visual effects or fast-paced action, the film succeeds through strong performances, thoughtful direction, and relatable emotional themes. Anne Hathaway's feature film debut remains one of the production's greatest strengths, introducing audiences to an actress whose natural charm and emotional authenticity would later define an impressive Hollywood career. Julie Andrews brings elegance, wisdom, and warmth to her performance, creating a memorable screen presence that adds emotional depth and credibility to the story. Together, the lead performances establish a believable emotional connection that continues to resonate with audiences across generations. From a technical perspective, the movie demonstrates careful craftsmanship in every department. The production design creates a polished yet welcoming visual style, while the costume design supports character development by reflecting maturity, confidence, and responsibility instead of simply showcasing glamour. The cinematography maintains bright, balanced visuals that reinforce the film's hopeful tone, and the musical score enhances emotional moments without overpowering the performances. The soundtrack also reflects the youthful energy of the early 2000s, adding an extra layer of nostalgia for longtime fans. Financially, The Princess Diaries proved to be a major success for Walt Disney Pictures. Produced with an estimated budget of approximately $26 million, it earned more than $165 million worldwide, making it one of Disney's most successful live-action family films of its release period. After its theatrical run in 2001, the movie expanded its audience through VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, and digital releases. In many countries, it has also been available on Disney+, although streaming availability depends on regional licensing agreements and may change over time. Critics praised the performances, family-friendly storytelling, and uplifting tone, while audiences embraced the film for its emotional sincerity and positive message. Over the years, its reputation has continued to grow, and it is now widely regarded as a modern Disney classic that demonstrates the lasting power of character-driven storytelling. Ultimately, The Princess Diaries reminds viewers that genuine success is measured not by titles, popularity, or appearance, but by integrity, compassion, humility, and the willingness to grow as a person. Those timeless values ensure that the film remains enjoyable, inspiring, and meaningful for both first-time viewers and longtime fans, securing its place as one of the most beloved family films of the 21st century. Review. One of the most overlooked strengths of The Princess Diaries is how effectively it presents the idea that leadership is earned through character rather than inherited through status. Although the film uses the fantasy of royalty as its backdrop, its deeper message is surprisingly grounded in everyday life. The story encourages viewers to value honesty, humility, responsibility, and empathy above popularity or appearance. Director Gary Marshall maintains a warm and optimistic tone throughout the film, allowing emotional moments to develop naturally while balancing them with lighthearted humor. This approach makes the movie appealing to both younger audiences and adults who appreciate character-driven storytelling. Anne Hathaway delivers a confident debut performance filled with authenticity and emotional sincerity, while Julie Andrews brings grace, wisdom, and warmth that elevate every scene she appears in. Their chemistry creates the emotional center of the film and reinforces its themes of family, mentorship, and personal growth. From a technical standpoint, the production design, cinematography, costume design, and musical score work together to create an inviting and timeless atmosphere. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures with an estimated budget of around $26 million, the film became a major commercial success, earning more than $165 million worldwide. It was released theatrically in 2001 and later reached wider audiences through VHS, DVD, Blu-ray, digital platforms, and in many regions through Disney+, subject to regional licensing. Critics praised the performances and uplifting tone, while audiences embraced the film's positive message and heartfelt storytelling. More than 2 decades later, The Princess Diaries remains a modern Disney classic because it reminds viewers that genuine confidence comes from accepting who you are, treating others with kindness, and facing new responsibilities with courage and integrity. Its enduring popularity proves that sincere storytelling and memorable performances can have a lasting impact across generations. Review: The Princess Diaries 2001 remains one of the finest examples of a family-friendly coming-of-age film because it successfully combines heartfelt storytelling with meaningful life lessons. Rather than relying on action or visual spectacle, the movie focuses on emotional development, personal responsibility, and the importance of believing in yourself. Directed by Gary Marshall, the film reflects his signature storytelling style, blending humor with genuine emotion in a way that feels timeless even after more than 2 decades. Every creative decision supports the central message that true confidence comes from character rather than appearance, popularity, or social status. Anne Hathaway's debut performance immediately established her as an actress with remarkable screen presence. She delivers a natural and relatable performance that allows audiences to connect with the emotional challenges of growing up and accepting new responsibilities. Julie Andrews brings grace, wisdom, and warmth, creating a memorable mentor figure whose guidance forms the emotional heart of the film. Their chemistry is one of the movie's greatest strengths, demonstrating how trust, patience, and family support can inspire personal growth. From a technical perspective, the cinematography maintains a bright and elegant visual style that complements the optimistic atmosphere of the story. The costume design reflects confidence and maturity while the production design creates an inviting royal world without overwhelming the grounded emotional themes. The musical score gently enhances important scenes, and the soundtrack captures the youthful energy of the early 2000s. Financially, the production became a major success for Walt Disney Pictures. Produced on an estimated budget of around $26 million, it earned more than $165 million worldwide, proving that audiences continue to appreciate sincere family entertainment supported by strong performances and thoughtful storytelling. Following its theatrical release in 2001, the movie enjoyed continued popularity through home media and later became available on Disney Plus in many regions, depending on local licensing agreements. Critics praised the performances of Anne Hathaway and Julie Andrews, while audiences embraced the uplifting themes and positive message. Over time, The Princess Diaries has become more than just a successful Disney film. It has evolved into a modern classic that continues to inspire viewers with its celebration of kindness, humility, responsibility, and self-belief. Its enduring popularity demonstrates that stories built around genuine emotions and timeless values can remain meaningful for generations, making it one of Disney's most beloved live-action family films. Review: One of the defining achievements of The Princess Diaries is its ability to leave a lasting emotional impression without depending on complicated storytelling. The film succeeds because it understands that audiences connect most strongly with authentic characters and meaningful relationships. Instead of presenting perfection as the ultimate goal, it celebrates personal growth, resilience, empathy, and the courage to accept change. Director Gary Marshall creates an atmosphere that feels warm, optimistic, and welcoming, allowing every emotional moment to develop naturally. His direction ensures that humor never overshadows the film's central message, making the experience enjoyable for viewers of all ages. Anne Hathaway's breakout performance remains one of the highlights of early 2000s family cinema. She brings sincerity, charm, and emotional honesty to the role, making the character feel relatable and believable. Julie Andrews delivers a graceful and dignified performance, adding wisdom and emotional depth that strengthens the film's heart. Their performances complement each other perfectly and demonstrate how trust, encouragement, and compassion can shape personal development. From a filmmaking perspective, the production design, cinematography, costume design, and music all contribute to the movie's timeless appeal. The visual presentation is elegant without becoming excessive, while the soundtrack captures the youthful spirit of its era. Produced by Walt Disney Pictures with an estimated budget of around $26 million, the film became a worldwide commercial success, earning more than $165 million at the global box office. It later reached even larger audiences through home media releases and, in many regions, through Disney+, depending on local streaming rights. Critics praised its uplifting tone and memorable performances, while audiences embraced its positive message and family-friendly entertainment. More than 2 decades later, The Princess Diaries continues to stand as a reminder that genuine leadership is built on kindness, integrity, humility, and the willingness to grow. These timeless values ensure that the film remains an inspiring and beloved Disney classic for audiences around the world. Part 1. The Princess Diaries 2001, directed by Gary Marshall and based on Meg Cabot's best-selling novel, is a heartwarming coming-of-age comedy drama that explores the extraordinary journey of Mia Thermopolis, a shy, intelligent, socially awkward, and insecure 15-year-old girl living a quiet life with her artist mother in San Francisco, completely unaware that she is the sole heir to the throne of the small European Kingdom of Genovia. The film begins by introducing Mia as an ordinary teenager who constantly feels invisible at school, struggles with self-confidence, fears public embarrassment, and believes she will never fit into the popular crowd, making her an instantly relatable character for audiences of all ages because her insecurities reflect the challenges that many teenagers experience while trying to discover their identity. Despite being academically capable and deeply compassionate, Mia allows fear and self-doubt to control many of her decisions, showing that intelligence alone cannot replace confidence, and this emotional foundation makes her transformation throughout the film feel realistic and inspiring rather than artificial. The story takes a dramatic turn when Mia unexpectedly meets her estranged grandmother, Queen Clarisse Rinaldi of Genovia, who reveals a life-changing secret that completely shatters Mia's understanding of her own identity. She is not an ordinary teenager at all, but the only princess and future queen of an entire nation. This revelation becomes the central conflict of the movie because Mia must choose between continuing her comfortable but ordinary life or embracing a future filled with responsibility, leadership, sacrifice, and public expectations, while also dealing with the emotional pressure of growing up. From the very beginning, the movie emphasizes that true royalty is not defined by expensive clothes, elegant manners, or a royal title, but by compassion, honesty, courage, humility, and the willingness to put others before oneself, establishing a powerful message that continues to guide every major event throughout the story and making the opening act both emotionally engaging and thematically meaningful. Part 2. After revealing Mia's royal identity, the story begins to explore the emotional and psychological impact of such an unbelievable truth on an ordinary teenager who never imagined that her future would involve a crown, a kingdom, and millions of people depending on her decisions. At first, Mia refuses to believe Queen Clarisse's revelation because it feels impossible that someone as clumsy, shy, and unnoticed as herself could ever become a princess, and this reaction reflects how fear often prevents people from accepting opportunities that seem too great for them. Queen Clarisse, however, remains patient and understanding, recognizing that Mia has spent her entire life believing she was just another high school student and cannot instantly embrace such a dramatic change, so she gently introduces her granddaughter to the customs, traditions, responsibilities, and expectations of the Genovian royal family while encouraging her to keep an open mind instead of forcing her into a decision. These early lessons become far more than etiquette classes because they symbolize the beginning of Mia's journey toward maturity, self-respect, and leadership, showing that becoming a true leader requires discipline, emotional intelligence, resilience, and a willingness to learn rather than natural perfection. Meanwhile, Mia continues attending school, where her secret identity remains hidden, allowing viewers to witness the contrast between her ordinary teenage problems and the extraordinary future waiting for her, creating both humorous and emotional moments that strengthen the film's central theme that every great transformation begins with accepting who you truly are before trying to become who the world expects you to be. Part 3. As Mia begins attending princess lessons with Queen Clarisse, the film carefully illustrates that the transformation into royalty is not achieved through a magical makeover alone but through patience, education, discipline, and personal growth. Every lesson in posture, etiquette, public speaking, diplomacy, table manners, and royal protocol challenges Mia because she has spent her entire life living freely without the pressure of representing an entire nation, and each mistake she makes becomes both a source of comedy and an opportunity for learning rather than failure. Queen Clarisse never expects Mia to become perfect overnight, instead reminding her that every respected leader starts as a beginner who learns through practice, determination, and humility, making their growing grandmother-granddaughter relationship one of the film's strongest emotional foundations. At the same time, Mia struggles to balance her new royal responsibilities with her normal teenage life, including school assignments, friendships, family relationships, and the constant fear that someone will discover her secret, creating emotional tension that feels realistic because many teenagers experience similar pressure when trying to balance different expectations in life. The movie also uses these scenes to emphasize that confidence cannot simply be created by changing someone's appearance, wearing elegant clothes, or receiving a prestigious title, because genuine confidence develops from accepting one's strengths, acknowledging one's weaknesses, and continuing to move forward despite fear and uncertainty. This stage of the story represents the beginning of Mia's emotional evolution from a girl who constantly apologizes for existing into a young woman slowly realizing that she deserves respect, happiness, and the opportunity to define her own future, making her character development both believable and deeply inspiring for audiences of every age. Part 4. As Mia continues her royal training, the pressure of living two completely different lives becomes increasingly difficult to manage because she is expected to remain an ordinary high school student while secretly preparing to become the future Queen of Genovia, creating constant emotional conflict between her personal desires and her growing sense of duty. Every etiquette lesson, formal event, and royal responsibility pushes Mia beyond her comfort zone, forcing her to confront the fears that have controlled her for years, including her fear of public speaking, making mistakes, and being judged by others. Meanwhile, her classmates begin noticing subtle changes in her appearance and behavior after her royal makeover, and the sudden attention she receives highlights how society often values outward appearance more than inner character, even though Mia herself has not changed as a person. The film cleverly uses this contrast to criticize superficial judgments, showing that the same classmates who once ignored or mocked Mia now admire her simply because she looks more confident and elegant, revealing the unfair reality of social acceptance. Despite the glamorous transformation, Mia still struggles with self-doubt and questions whether she truly deserves to be a princess, making it clear that confidence cannot be created by beautiful clothes, perfect hairstyles, or public admiration alone, but must come from self-belief, resilience, and the courage to accept both strengths and imperfections. Queen Clarisse continues guiding her with wisdom, patience, and unconditional love, teaching Mia that leadership is not about being flawless but about making thoughtful decisions, treating people with kindness, and accepting responsibility even when the path ahead feels frightening, reinforcing one of the film's most meaningful messages that true greatness comes from character rather than status or appearance. Part 5. As Mia's confidence slowly begins to grow, the consequences of her hidden royal identity become more complicated because the secret cannot remain hidden forever, and the film brilliantly explores how sudden fame can completely change the way people behave toward someone. After the media discovers that Mia is the Princess of Genovia, her quiet and ordinary life disappears almost overnight as photographers, reporters, and television cameras begin following her everywhere, turning every small mistake into public news and placing enormous emotional pressure on a teenager who is still trying to understand her own identity. This dramatic shift symbolizes how fame often removes privacy and creates unrealistic expectations, forcing individuals to live under constant public observation, while Mia realizes that being a princess is not only about wearing elegant dresses or attending royal events but also about representing an entire nation with dignity, responsibility, and grace in every situation. Meanwhile, several classmates who once ignored or ridiculed her suddenly become friendly, proving that popularity based on status and appearance is often shallow and unreliable, whereas the people who truly cared about Mia before learning her secret remain the ones who genuinely value her personality rather than her title. The film uses these changing relationships to deliver an important lesson about authenticity, reminding viewers that true friends stay beside you during both ordinary and extraordinary moments instead of appearing only when success or fame becomes involved. Despite receiving admiration from many people, Mia continues battling anxiety, insecurity, and fear of disappointing both her grandmother and the citizens of Genovia, making it clear that external recognition cannot instantly erase years of self-doubt, and that genuine confidence is built gradually through courage, perseverance, honesty, and the willingness to remain true to oneself even when the entire world is watching. Part 6. As the story progresses, Mia finds herself caught between the excitement of discovering a new identity and the overwhelming pressure of living up to the expectations of a future queen, making every decision feel more significant than ever before because she now understands that her actions affect not only herself but also her family, her friends, and the people of Genovia. Although the glamorous side of royal life appears attractive from the outside, the film carefully reveals the loneliness, responsibility, and emotional sacrifice that often come with leadership, as Mia has less privacy, less freedom, and constantly feels judged by both the media and those around her. Queen Clarisse continues to mentor her with patience and wisdom, teaching her that a true ruler earns respect through compassion, integrity, humility, and service rather than power or wealth, while also encouraging Mia to make her own decisions instead of blindly following tradition. At school, Mia struggles to maintain her old friendships because the sudden attention surrounding her creates misunderstandings, jealousy, and emotional distance, demonstrating how rapid success or unexpected change can test even the strongest relationships. The movie also emphasizes that personal growth is rarely comfortable, as Mia experiences embarrassment, disappointment, and moments of self-doubt that force her to question whether she is truly capable of becoming a princess, yet each challenge gradually strengthens her confidence and resilience. By the end of this stage in the story, Mia begins to realize that being a princess is not about achieving perfection but about accepting responsibility with honesty, learning from mistakes without giving up, and remaining kind even when life becomes difficult, reinforcing the film's inspiring message that genuine leadership begins with believing in yourself and choosing courage over fear. Part 7. As Mia becomes more comfortable with her royal education, the emotional challenges of balancing her personal life and her responsibilities as the future princess of Genovia grow even more intense, because every decision she makes now carries consequences that extend beyond herself, affecting her family, friends, and even the reputation of an entire kingdom. Despite her growing confidence, Mia still struggles with moments of insecurity and often questions whether she truly deserves the title she has inherited, illustrating that self-doubt does not disappear overnight but must be overcome through continuous effort, experience, and self-belief. The movie also explores the complicated nature of teenage relationships, as Mia begins to realize that popularity can attract people who are interested only in status rather than genuine friendship, making her appreciate those who cared about her long before anyone knew she was a princess. This contrast highlights one of the film's strongest themes, that true friendship is built on trust, loyalty, honesty, and acceptance instead of appearance, wealth, or social position. Meanwhile, Queen Clarisse continues preparing Mia for the responsibilities of leadership by teaching her that a ruler must remain calm during difficult situations. Listen carefully before making decisions, and always place the well-being of others above personal comfort. Lessons that slowly transform Mia from a frightened and uncertain teenager into a compassionate young woman capable of facing challenges with maturity and dignity. The film also reminds viewers that every meaningful transformation requires sacrifice, because Mia must give up parts of her ordinary teenage life in order to embrace a future filled with responsibility, service, and purpose, proving that true greatness is achieved not by avoiding difficult choices but by facing them with courage, integrity, and unwavering determination. Part 8. As the story moves toward its emotional climax, Mia faces increasing pressure from every direction because the expectations of the royal family, the constant attention of the media, and the complicated emotions of her personal relationships begin to collide, forcing her to confront the reality that becoming a princess is far more demanding than she ever imagined. Although she has learned the rules of etiquette, public speaking, diplomacy, and royal behavior, Mia realizes that the greatest challenge is not mastering these formal skills but believing in herself when everything around her feels uncertain, proving that true confidence comes from inner strength rather than external approval. The film also explores the emotional cost of sudden fame, as Mia discovers that many people judge her without understanding who she truly is, while others attempt to take advantage of her new status for their own benefit, teaching her the importance of recognizing genuine loyalty and remaining true to her values despite public pressure. Queen Clarisse continues offering guidance with patience and unconditional love, reminding Mia that every great leader experiences fear but chooses to act with courage regardless of that fear, a lesson that becomes increasingly important as Mia approaches the moment when she must decide whether to officially accept the role of Princess of Genovia or walk away from the responsibility forever. Meanwhile, Mia's growing maturity becomes visible through her willingness to admit mistakes, apologize when necessary, and think about the needs of others before her own, demonstrating that leadership is measured not by perfection but by compassion, accountability, humility, and the courage to do what is right even when it is difficult, making this stage of the film one of the most significant turning points in her journey from an insecure teenager into a confident and inspiring future queen. Part 9. As the royal ball and Mia's final decision draw closer, the emotional stakes become higher than ever because she begins to question whether she truly belongs in a world filled with traditions, responsibilities, and endless public expectations, while her fear of making a mistake threatens to overshadow all the progress she has achieved throughout her journey. After facing several embarrassing situations and personal disappointments, Mia briefly considers giving up her claim to the throne, believing that Genovia deserves someone stronger, more experienced, and more confident than herself. But this moment of doubt becomes one of the film's most powerful emotional turning points because it reflects a universal human experience, the fear of not being good enough for the opportunities life presents. Queen Clarisse, instead of criticizing Mia for her uncertainty, reminds her that every great ruler has faced moments of fear and confusion, explaining that courage is not the absence of fear but the decision to move forward despite it, and this heartfelt conversation strengthens the emotional bond between grandmother and granddaughter while reinforcing the movie's central message that true leadership begins with character rather than perfection. At the same time, Mia starts recognizing which people genuinely support her for who she is instead of the royal title she carries, allowing her to distinguish authentic friendship from superficial admiration, an important lesson that helps her mature emotionally and prepares her for the difficult choices ahead. By the end of this stage, Mia realizes that becoming a princess is not about living a glamorous life filled with luxury, fame, and admiration, but about accepting responsibility, serving others with compassion, making difficult decisions with honesty, and inspiring people through kindness, humility, and integrity, proving that the greatest transformation in the story has taken place within her heart rather than in her appearance. Part 10. As the Grand Genovian Independence Day ball approaches, Mia reaches the most critical moment of her journey because she must finally decide whether to accept the crown and the responsibilities that come with it or return to the ordinary life she once believed was her only future, and this decision represents far more than choosing between two different lifestyles because it symbolizes the moment when a young girl must discover the kind of person she truly wants to become. Overwhelmed by fear, pressure, and the possibility of disappointing an entire nation, Mia briefly loses confidence and believes that she is not worthy of becoming a princess, yet through the unwavering encouragement of Queen Clarisse, the unconditional love of her mother, and the support of those who genuinely care about her, she begins to understand that no leader is born perfect and that greatness comes from the willingness to learn, grow, and take responsibility even when success is not guaranteed. This realization transforms Mia from someone who constantly doubts herself into a young woman prepared to face uncertainty with courage, proving that confidence is earned through perseverance rather than appearance or status. When she finally arrives at the royal ball after a dramatic race against time, her entrance symbolizes not only the arrival of a princess but also the birth of a confident leader who has chosen duty over fear and integrity over comfort. And by publicly accepting her role as Princess of Genovia, Mia demonstrates that true royalty is defined by compassion, humility, honesty, resilience, and the courage to serve others, making this sequence one of the film's most inspiring and emotionally satisfying moments while reinforcing the timeless message that believing in yourself is the first step toward achieving extraordinary things. Part 11. After Mia courageously accepts her destiny at the Genovian Independence Day ball, the emotional impact of her decision extends far beyond the celebration itself because she finally understands that becoming a princess is not the end of her journey but the true beginning of a lifetime dedicated to responsibility, leadership, compassion, and service. Throughout the film, Mia's transformation has never been about changing her appearance alone but about developing the confidence to embrace her authentic self, and this realization becomes the foundation of the movie's most powerful message, that every person possesses hidden potential waiting to be discovered when they choose courage over fear and self-belief over self-doubt. Queen Clarisse watches her granddaughter with pride, recognizing that Mia has earned the respect of everyone not because she has mastered royal etiquette or learned to wear a crown gracefully, but because she has remained kind, honest, humble, and compassionate even while facing overwhelming pressure and public scrutiny. The film also reminds viewers that true leadership is measured not by wealth, popularity, or social status but by the ability to inspire hope, make difficult decisions with integrity, and place the needs of others before personal comfort, qualities that Mia gradually develops through every challenge she encounters. Another important aspect of the story is the value of genuine relationships, as Mia ultimately realizes that the people who loved and supported her before discovering her royal identity are the ones who truly deserve a place in her life, reinforcing the timeless lesson that authentic friendship and unconditional family support are more valuable than temporary fame or superficial admiration. By the conclusion of this chapter in her life, Mia has evolved from an insecure teenager who feared being noticed into a confident young woman prepared to face the future with dignity, resilience, and optimism, proving that the greatest transformation in life always begins within the heart and mind rather than through external appearance, making the Princess Diaries an inspiring celebration of personal growth, courage, self-acceptance, and the enduring belief that ordinary people are capable of achieving extraordinary destinies when they remain true to themselves. Part 12. One of the greatest strengths of The Princess Diaries is the way it balances lighthearted comedy with meaningful emotional storytelling, ensuring that every humorous moment also contributes to Mia Thermopolis's personal growth rather than existing only for entertainment. The film uses awkward situations, embarrassing accidents, and Mia's naturally clumsy personality to create memorable comedy, but beneath these laughs lies a deeper exploration of adolescence, identity, and the universal struggle to find confidence in a world that constantly judges people by their appearance, popularity, and social status. Mia's famous makeover is one of the most recognizable scenes in the movie, yet the story deliberately shows that changing her hairstyle, clothes, and posture does not instantly solve her emotional insecurities because genuine confidence cannot be created through physical transformation alone, and this important message separates the film from many traditional makeover stories by emphasizing inner character over external beauty. Queen Clarisse's patient guidance further reinforces this lesson, as she consistently teaches Mia that respect must be earned through kindness, honesty, wisdom, and responsibility instead of wealth, elegance, or royal privilege, demonstrating that leadership is ultimately a matter of character rather than appearance. The supporting characters also strengthen the narrative by representing different perspectives on friendship, family, loyalty, and ambition, allowing Mia to understand who truly values her for the person she is instead of the title she carries, while the emotional bond between Mia and her mother highlights the importance of unconditional love and support during periods of major personal change. Through these carefully developed relationships and meaningful life lessons, the film continues to inspire audiences by reminding them that everyone experiences moments of fear, uncertainty, and self-doubt, but those challenges can become the foundation for remarkable personal growth when met with courage, perseverance, humility, and the willingness to believe in one's own potential. Part 13. As the story is analyzed more deeply, The Princess Diaries becomes much more than a simple fairy tale about an ordinary girl discovering that she is a princess, because beneath its entertaining surface it presents a thoughtful exploration of identity, responsibility, self-worth, and the emotional transition from childhood into adulthood. Mia Thermopolis's journey symbolizes the experience of countless young people who feel invisible, misunderstood, or uncertain about their future, making her character relatable because she succeeds not through extraordinary talent or magical abilities but through determination, compassion, honesty, and the willingness to grow from every mistake she makes. One of the film's strongest themes is that true leadership is never inherited simply by birth or social status but must be earned through integrity, empathy, humility, and the courage to make difficult decisions even when fear and uncertainty are overwhelming. And Mia gradually proves herself worthy of becoming the future Queen of Genovia not by trying to imitate someone else but by embracing her own unique personality and values. The relationship between Mia and Queen Clarisse also serves as the emotional heart of the film, demonstrating how patience, wisdom, encouragement, and unconditional family support can help someone discover strengths they never believed they possessed, while the contrast between genuine friends and people attracted only by Mia's royal status reminds viewers that authentic relationships are built on trust, loyalty, and respect rather than popularity or personal gain. The movie's uplifting tone, memorable performances, emotional sincerity, and timeless lessons continue to resonate with audiences of all generations because its central message remains universally relevant, that every individual has the potential to achieve greatness when they choose courage over fear, kindness over arrogance, responsibility over comfort, and authenticity over the pressure to become someone they are not, making The Princess Diaries an enduring and inspiring coming-of-age classic whose emotional impact extends far beyond its fairy tale premise. Part 14. From a cinematic perspective, The Princess Diaries succeeds because it combines engaging storytelling, memorable performances, heartfelt emotions, and meaningful life lessons into a film that appeals to both younger and older audiences, proving that a coming-of-age story can remain entertaining while also delivering timeless wisdom about confidence, responsibility, and personal growth. Anne Hathaway's portrayal of Mia Thermopolis is remarkably authentic because she captures every stage of the character's transformation, from an awkward, self-conscious teenager who hides behind insecurity to a poised and compassionate young woman who accepts the responsibilities of leadership without losing her kindness or individuality, making her journey feel believable and emotionally rewarding rather than unrealistic. Julie Andrews delivers an elegant and heartfelt performance as Queen Clarisse Rinaldi, whose wisdom, patience, grace, and unconditional love provide the emotional guidance that helps Mia discover her true potential, and the chemistry between the two actresses becomes the emotional foundation of the entire film. Director Gary Marshall balances comedy with emotional depth by ensuring that humorous moments never overshadow the story's central themes, while the beautiful costumes, elegant palace settings, and uplifting musical score enhance the fairy tale atmosphere without distracting from the emotional journey at the heart of the narrative. Beyond its charming presentation, the film encourages viewers to look beyond appearances and recognize that genuine beauty is defined by compassion, honesty, resilience, humility, and the courage to remain true to oneself despite criticism or uncertainty, reinforcing the idea that personal growth is a continuous process shaped by difficult choices, valuable relationships, and the willingness to embrace change with confidence. Because of these qualities, The Princess Diaries remains an inspiring and emotionally satisfying film that continues to resonate with audiences around the world, reminding every viewer that extraordinary destinies often begin with ordinary people who simply learn to believe in themselves. Part 15. One of the most powerful aspects of The Princess Diaries is its realistic portrayal of personal transformation, because Mia Thermopolis does not suddenly become fearless or perfect after learning she is a princess. Instead, the film carefully demonstrates that true growth is a gradual process built through repeated challenges, difficult decisions, embarrassing failures, emotional resilience, and the courage to keep moving forward despite uncertainty, making her journey both inspiring and believable for audiences of all ages. Throughout the story, Mia repeatedly faces situations that test her confidence, integrity, patience, and sense of responsibility, and each obstacle becomes an opportunity to learn something valuable about herself rather than simply serving as another dramatic event, reinforcing the message that mistakes are not signs of weakness but essential steps toward maturity and self-discovery. The film also offers a thoughtful commentary on society's obsession with outward appearance and popularity, showing how the same people who once overlooked Mia suddenly admire her after discovering her royal identity, highlighting the superficial nature of status-based acceptance while encouraging viewers to value character over image. Equally important is the emotional support Mia receives from Queen Clarisse, her mother, and the friends who remain loyal regardless of her title, demonstrating that genuine encouragement from loved ones can inspire people to achieve goals they once believed were impossible. By the end of her remarkable journey, Mia understands that wearing a crown does not automatically make someone a great leader, because leadership is earned through empathy, honesty, humility, wisdom, accountability. and the willingness to place the needs of others above personal comfort, making the film's final message both timeless and universally meaningful, as it reminds viewers that every individual has the ability to overcome self-doubt, embrace change with courage, and discover extraordinary strength within themselves when they choose authenticity, perseverance, and compassion over fear and insecurity. Part 16. Another significant theme explored throughout the Princess Diaries is the relationship between identity and responsibility, as Mia Thermopolis gradually realizes that discovering her royal heritage does not erase the person she has always been but instead expands her understanding of who she can become, proving that personal identity is shaped not by titles or circumstances but by the choices a person makes when facing difficult situations. The film repeatedly contrasts Mia's ordinary teenage life with the formal expectations of the royal family, illustrating that balancing personal happiness with public duty is one of the greatest challenges any leader can face, and this conflict gives the story emotional depth because Mia must constantly decide whether to follow her fears or embrace the opportunities that come with her newfound role. Throughout this journey, Queen Clarisse never demands perfection from her granddaughter but instead encourages continuous learning, reminding her that wisdom, compassion, patience, and humility are qualities developed through experience rather than inherited through birth, making her mentorship one of the film's most inspiring elements. The supporting characters further reinforce the movie's themes by showing different reactions to Mia's transformation, from genuine encouragement and unconditional love to jealousy, selfishness, and superficial admiration, helping Mia recognize the difference between authentic relationships and those based on personal benefit. Visually, the contrast between the modest comfort of Mia's everyday life and the elegance of Genovia's royal traditions symbolizes her internal struggle between familiarity and destiny, while the uplifting tone of the film ensures that every emotional challenge ultimately contributes to her growth instead of defeating her spirit. By the conclusion of this stage in the analysis, it becomes evident that The Princess Diaries is not merely a story about becoming a princess but a thoughtful reflection on self-discovery, emotional maturity, leadership, and the importance of remaining true to one's values even when life unexpectedly changes, making its message both timeless and universally relatable for audiences across generations. Part 17. From a character development perspective, Mia Thermopolis represents one of the most believable coming-of-age protagonists because her evolution is driven by emotional growth rather than sudden perfection, allowing audiences to witness every stage of her journey from insecurity to confidence through realistic experiences that include failure, disappointment, self-reflection, perseverance, and personal responsibility. Unlike many fairy tale heroes who instantly adapt to extraordinary circumstances, Mia repeatedly questions her abilities, makes mistakes under pressure, struggles to balance her private life with her public responsibilities, and occasionally allows fear to influence her decisions, making her transformation feel authentic because it reflects the way real people gradually mature through experience instead of changing overnight. The screenplay consistently emphasizes that courage is not the absence of fear but the willingness to act despite uncertainty, and this lesson becomes increasingly meaningful as Mia begins to understand that leadership requires empathy, accountability, honesty, and the ability to inspire others through example rather than authority alone. Queen Clarisse's mentorship plays an essential role in this process, as she patiently teaches Mia that respect cannot be demanded simply because of a royal title but must be earned through wisdom, kindness, integrity, and service to others, while the emotional support of Mia's mother and her true friends reinforces the importance of family, trust, and unconditional acceptance during periods of major personal change. The film also encourages viewers to reject superficial definitions of success by showing that external beauty, popularity, and social recognition are temporary, whereas strong character, compassion, resilience, and authenticity create lasting respect and meaningful relationships. By combining these emotional themes with humor, heartfelt performances, and uplifting storytelling, The Princess Diaries delivers an inspiring message that every ordinary individual possesses extraordinary potential, and that true greatness begins when a person chooses to believe in themselves, embrace responsibility, learn from failure, and remain faithful to their values regardless of how challenging the journey becomes. Part 18. A deeper analysis of The Princess Diaries reveals that the film uses the idea of royalty as a metaphor for discovering one's hidden potential, suggesting that every individual possesses unique abilities and responsibilities that may remain unnoticed until life presents unexpected opportunities. And Mia Thermopolis's journey perfectly illustrates this concept because she begins the story believing she is insignificant and incapable of standing out, yet gradually learns that genuine confidence is not something given by others but something built through self-acceptance, perseverance, and the courage to face difficult situations. The narrative carefully avoids portraying Mia as a flawless heroine, instead allowing her to experience embarrassment, emotional setbacks, misunderstandings, and moments of deep uncertainty, which makes her eventual success feel earned rather than automatic, while reinforcing the realistic message that growth is achieved through persistence instead of perfection. The film also explores the conflict between external expectations and personal identity, as Mia must learn to respect royal traditions without sacrificing the kindness, honesty, humor, and individuality that define her true character, demonstrating that authentic leadership comes from remaining true to one's values even while adapting to new responsibilities. Queen Clarisse's wisdom continues to guide this transformation by reminding Mia that dignity is reflected in everyday choices, respect for others, emotional intelligence, and the willingness to serve rather than command, turning each lesson into a meaningful reflection on leadership and maturity. Supported by strong performances, memorable dialogue, emotional sincerity, and a hopeful atmosphere, the movie ultimately celebrates the universal idea that ordinary people can accomplish extraordinary things when they choose courage over fear, integrity over popularity, compassion over selfishness, and authenticity over superficial expectations, making The Princess Diaries a timeless story whose inspiring themes continue to resonate with audiences across different generations and cultures. Part 19. Another important aspect of The Princess Diaries is the way it portrays emotional maturity as a continuous journey rather than a final destination, showing that Mia Thermopolis's greatest achievement is not becoming the Princess of Genovia but developing the wisdom, confidence, resilience, and compassion necessary to carry the responsibilities that accompany her new role with dignity and integrity. Throughout the narrative, every obstacle she encounters, from social embarrassment and public scrutiny to personal disappointment and difficult decisions, serves as a lesson that strengthens her character, proving that true confidence is built through perseverance, humility, and the willingness to learn from failure instead of avoiding it. The film also presents an insightful commentary on how society often places excessive value on appearance, popularity, and status, encouraging viewers to look beyond superficial judgments and recognize that genuine worth is determined by honesty, empathy, kindness, accountability, and the courage to remain authentic even when external pressures demand conformity. Queen Clarisse's guidance reinforces these ideas by demonstrating that effective leadership is rooted in patience, wisdom, respect, emotional intelligence, and service to others rather than authority or privilege alone, while Mia's relationships with her mother and loyal friends highlight the essential role of unconditional love and trust in helping individuals overcome insecurity and embrace personal growth. From a storytelling perspective, the balance between humor, heartfelt emotion, memorable performances, and meaningful life lessons allows the movie to entertain while simultaneously encouraging self-reflection, making its themes relevant not only for teenagers navigating identity and confidence but also for adults facing unexpected responsibilities and life-changing decisions. By the end of this stage of the analysis, it becomes clear that The Princess Diaries endures as a beloved coming-of-age classic because it reminds audiences that extraordinary destinies are shaped not by perfect circumstances but by ordinary people who choose courage, integrity, compassion, perseverance, and self-belief when confronted with the challenges that define their lives. Part 20. Reaching the midpoint of this analysis, The Princess Diaries can be appreciated not only as an entertaining family film but also as a thoughtful examination of self-discovery, emotional resilience, and the responsibilities that accompany personal growth, because Mia Thermopolis's transformation demonstrates that the most meaningful changes in life begin within a person's mindset rather than through external recognition or physical appearance. The screenplay consistently reinforces that every challenge Mia faces, from learning royal etiquette and coping with relentless media attention to balancing friendships, family expectations, and her own fears, contributes to the gradual development of her confidence and leadership, illustrating that genuine maturity is achieved through experience, accountability, and the willingness to embrace discomfort in pursuit of a greater purpose. The film's strongest emotional moments arise not from its fairy tale elements but from Mia's relatable struggles with insecurity, uncertainty, and the desire to be accepted for who she truly is, making her journey universally meaningful regardless of age or background. Queen Clarisse's mentorship further enriches the narrative by presenting leadership as an act of service founded on empathy, wisdom, humility, patience, and moral integrity rather than power or privilege, while the unwavering support of Mia's mother and loyal friends reminds viewers that unconditional love and honest encouragement often provide the strength needed to overcome self-doubt. Beyond its humor, romance, and royal fantasy, the movie ultimately argues that success is measured not by titles, wealth, or popularity but by the ability to remain authentic, treat others with kindness and respect, accept responsibility with courage, and continue growing despite setbacks, ensuring that The Princess Diaries remains an inspiring and timeless coming-of-age story whose uplifting message encourages every viewer to believe that extraordinary potential exists within ordinary people who are willing to trust themselves and embrace the opportunities life unexpectedly places before them. Part 21. As the analysis continues. The Princess Diaries demonstrates that true leadership is defined by character rather than authority, illustrating that Mia Thermopolis earns the respect of others not because she is born into royalty but because she gradually develops the qualities of compassion, honesty, courage, humility, patience, and responsibility that every great leader must possess. Throughout the film, Mia repeatedly encounters situations that challenge her emotionally, forcing her to confront her fears instead of avoiding them, and each obstacle becomes an opportunity to strengthen her confidence and understanding of what it truly means to serve others with integrity. Unlike traditional fairy tales where the protagonist's transformation is often magical and immediate, Mia's evolution is intentionally slow and realistic, reminding audiences that meaningful personal growth requires time, perseverance, self-reflection, and the willingness to learn from mistakes rather than expecting instant success. The relationship between Mia and Queen Clarisse remains the emotional core of the story because their conversations extend beyond royal etiquette and become lessons about wisdom, empathy, emotional intelligence, and the importance of remaining authentic even while fulfilling public responsibilities, showing that genuine mentorship is built on trust, encouragement, and mutual respect instead of criticism or unrealistic expectations. The film also thoughtfully examines the influence of public opinion, media attention, and social popularity, revealing how easily people can judge someone based on appearance or status while encouraging viewers to value sincerity, loyalty, and moral character above superficial success. By combining humor, heartfelt emotion, memorable performances, and universal life lessons, The Princess Diaries continues to inspire audiences across generations, proving that extraordinary achievements are not reserved for extraordinary people but for ordinary individuals who choose courage over fear, integrity over convenience, kindness over selfishness, and self-belief over insecurity when faced with life's greatest challenges. Part 22. One of the most enduring messages of The Princess Diaries is that personal growth begins with accepting oneself before seeking acceptance from others, and Mia Thermopolis's journey beautifully illustrates this truth as she gradually realizes that no amount of elegance, popularity, or royal recognition can replace genuine self-confidence built through honesty, resilience, humility, and emotional maturity. At the beginning of the story, Mia constantly worries about how other people perceive her, allowing fear and insecurity to shape her decisions, but as she faces increasingly difficult challenges, she discovers that real confidence comes from embracing both her strengths and imperfections while remaining committed to doing what is right even when the outcome is uncertain. The film reinforces this lesson through Queen Clarisse's patient guidance, as she consistently reminds Mia that leadership is not measured by flawless behavior or perfect appearances but by compassion, wisdom, accountability, and the ability to inspire hope through thoughtful actions and respectful treatment of others. Another meaningful aspect of the narrative is its portrayal of family as a source of unconditional support, because Mia's mother and grandmother encourage her to make her own choices instead of forcing her toward a predetermined future, demonstrating that genuine love empowers people to discover their own path rather than controlling it. The contrast between loyal friends who value Mia's personality and individuals attracted only to her royal title further emphasizes the importance of authenticity in relationships, reminding viewers that trust, honesty, and mutual respect form the strongest foundations for lasting friendships. Ultimately, the film succeeds because it presents a timeless and uplifting message that extraordinary opportunities may unexpectedly appear in anyone's life, but only those who face uncertainty with courage, remain true to their values, continue learning from every experience, and choose compassion over pride are able to transform those opportunities into meaningful and lasting success, making The Princess Diaries an inspiring celebration of self-discovery and personal responsibility. Part 23. As the narrative approaches its deeper emotional meaning, The Princess Diaries reveals that the greatest victory in Mia Thermopolis's journey is not gaining a royal title but overcoming the invisible barriers created by fear, insecurity, and self-doubt, because throughout the film she learns that confidence is not something another person can simply give her but a quality that must be earned through experience, perseverance, humility, and the willingness to face uncomfortable situations without losing faith in herself. Every important event in the story, from her first meeting with Queen Clarisse and the demanding etiquette lessons to the overwhelming attention of the media and the emotional pressure of choosing her future, serves as another step toward emotional maturity, proving that true growth comes from accepting challenges instead of avoiding them. The movie also explores the balance between destiny and free will by showing that although Mia is born into royalty, becoming a worthy princess depends entirely on the decisions she makes, the values she chooses to uphold, and the compassion she shows toward others, reinforcing the idea that greatness is achieved through actions rather than inherited through birth. Queen Clarisse's wisdom continues to shape Mia's understanding of leadership by teaching that a ruler's greatest responsibility is to protect, inspire, and serve people with integrity, fairness, patience, and kindness instead of seeking admiration or personal glory, while the unwavering support of Mia's mother and genuine friends reminds viewers that unconditional love and honest encouragement provide the emotional strength necessary to overcome even the greatest uncertainties. By blending humor, heartfelt emotion, memorable performances, and timeless life lessons, The Princess Diaries becomes much more than a traditional fairy tale, evolving into a universal story about discovering inner strength, embracing responsibility with courage, remaining authentic despite changing circumstances, and proving that ordinary individuals can achieve extraordinary things when they believe in themselves and stay true to the values that define their character.